Live from 864 Sound in Greenville, South Carolina, it's the Wash Bros Podcast with your hosts, Matt Jackson and Clay Smith.
What's up, guys? It's Matt Jackson and Clay Smith, and we are the Wash Bros. So we started this podcast live from the 864, and we're just gonna kind of talk about our story, our friendship, and how we started a pressure washing business together. So let's go.
Yeah, what's up, Matt?
What's
Glad to be here. This is something I know we talked about for 6 to 8 months now.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So glad to finally be doing this. Talk about how we came together, how we kind of do business together behind the scenes. A lot of people are probably like, "What the crap? Like, how is two people in the same industry? How are they so close? How are they doing something like this?" I think it's something that I think you should want to see more of this around the country, around even local, supporting each other, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like small business. It's hard enough as it is. It's a solo sport. Entrepreneurship is one of those things. There's no workforce you have to go to have supportive employees and bosses. You kind of like everything's on you. So it can be overwhelming at times. It's hard to know what you're doing, if it's right, if it's wrong. And then like mentally it's bad. So that's why it's like, I'd rather collaborate than be like a competitor to somebody.
Right. So I know we've talked about it a little bit, but let's tell everybody, like, how did we meet? How do we get linked up? It was kind of a crazy story, right?
Yeah, I think it's a cool story. I mean, last year I was actually ended up having an injury that was not fun. So I was kind of out of the game a little bit, and then I noticed in one of these like Greenville young professional groups, I used to get a lot of like referrals in it, and all of a sudden I started seeing this guy Clay Smith pop up. I was like, all right, cool.
Who's this guy, right?
Who's
this new guy in town? Who's this rookie? It's yeah.
I know I've been like kind of slacking on my marketing recently, but like, who is this guy? It's kind of like rubbing a little itch here.
Right.
So of course I had to check him out, connected with him, and then we kind of sparked a conversation, and then it's a cool dude, so we became friends. But I think the cool moment was I was stuck on a job, and I was like, man, I kind of had a piece of equipment break. It's going to kind of mess up my schedule. And then he kind of came through in the clutch, having never met in person, and offered me to borrow his surface cleaner, which is like how we clean our driveways. So instead of me dropping like $700 and having to scramble to like figure out how to reschedule, I was able to kind of jump right into it and not have any delays in my schedule. So kind of like an act of kindness there.
Yeah. And I think that night we met, I think it was at the Home Depot parking lot, the local Home Depot, right? So the first time we had ever met, it was crazy. I mean, we spoke for I think we stayed until almost 11 o'clock that night in the Home Depot parking lot, just talking, man. And I didn't know, I knew a lot about business going into starting my own company, but I didn't know a lot about pressure washing. And obviously you were there to help me behind the scenes. It really, I mean, I've given you some credit here and there, but nobody really knows how much you really helped C3 Wash Bros, right? So it's just crazy. It's just crazy to me, going into this, you think, I'm coming from the sales perspective. Mm-hmm. A lot of people didn't really work together. Right. As managers, we worked together, but as when I was in the sales field, it was cutthroat,
Oh, yeah.
And it's good that we don't have to view each other that way, even though that we are competitors.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. And like, we both kind of come from the same background. I was in car sales, sold Toyotas for a little while, and it is a grind. It's every man for himself, and it's a super scarcity driven place. So anytime somebody's winning, you're kind of upset, and you're like, oh, it's not fair. Mm-hmm. So to see somebody else come up in a space where you are literally trying to compete with them and then do well, it's almost like counterintuitive to be like, hey, let's help each other out here.
Right.
But again, I also believe in like kind of giving back, and like what you put out will come back, and karma and stuff like that. And it's just like, hey, you start out, it's brand new. I don't want somebody to make the same mistakes I made. It's like shortcut that learning curve, but also have a relationship and a friendship that pushes each other so you guys both grow together.
Right.
That's kind of what we evolved into.
Yeah, and I think that some of the stuff that works for you is not going to work for me, and some of the stuff that works, vice versa. And it's a lot of trial and error, and it's something, if I run into a hiccup, it's like, what do you think of this, Matt? Or vice versa, Matt's like, what do you think of this, Clay?
Yeah.
And we don't kind of view each other as better than the other or anything like that. We just kind of work together. We just try to build successful businesses together. So, very, very exciting. I'm super pumped for 2023. I mean, doing what we did last year, together, really, C3 Wash Pros. I mean, that, it's exceeded my expectations. I mean,
you're gonna need employees before you know
it. to do 6 figures in just a year, it was just nuts to me. Like I said, it's really mind blowing to me. That I was actually able to do it, but obviously it was with your help a little bit, right? So
everybody helps out though. Like I have mentors. It's one of those things. If you're going at life or if you're going at business, especially alone, you're not going to go very far. I mean, if everybody you see is a competitor and everybody you see is out to get you, you're going to go back to having a day job pretty soon.
What was the Dabo quote that we go by?
Oh, I love it. It's like, I don't care about your opinion if I'm not asking you for advice.
Correct.
It was like a reporter that was like asking him, grilling him about stuff. He's like, look, bro, I really don't care what you have to say and your opinion if I'm not asking you for advice.
Yeah. I mean, like, from the sales background if you're successful, you're going to have those people, in the background that are, I guess they're kind of, what do you want to say? Maybe a little bit jealous. Like I'm like, bro, just put your energy towards making yourself better and making yourself more successful, and, stop worrying about what others are doing, I mean, obviously, that's kind of, I mean, we work together, so.
Too. And you can get like woo woo and think of it like it's energy. So if you're working for somebody and they have a brand and they have business coming in, say like sales. Okay, if I can take everybody's business that's coming in, I may be successful, but I'm toxic and I'm just kind of taking advantage of that business that's bringing in the business as it is. Versus when you're your own person, you kind of have to put out good value and good energy and have good relationships with people because they can sense that kind of weird energy off of you. If you're I'm out to get this type of person. Right. So, I mean, the more I help people and the more like collaboration occurs and like friendships are made, the more money comes back to me.
Right. And at the end of the day, it's your job to go out and get to work. Run the washing is the easy part. The hardest part is knowing how to run a business and being successful at it. The hardest part is getting work, being consistent with getting the work, doing it. You got to do a good job for your clients, right? You got to give them quality work. You got to show value in your company. You got to provide value in your company, or else they're not going to call you back next year, right? Exactly. So you got to be consistent. If you're not consistent, I mean, you're really not going to get anywhere. And that's how, within 3 to 4 years, what's the national average? The small businesses, with home services, they just don't last because they don't know how to do all that.
Or they don't choose to because they've made it very difficult for themselves. And
right.
Like, you can hustle and force and like bury your emotions the entire time, and then eventually you're going to burn out because there's not a greater purpose behind what you're doing. You're not there to serve, you're there to take. Right.
And, I have guys that call me all the time. Hey, bro, what do you think about this? Or what should I do here? Or what should I do there? Or and I'm just like, well, I mean, are you going to put forth the effort into doing what I'm telling you? Or, are you just calling me to waste my time? Like, I don't have time to, if I wanted to, you know what I'm saying?
It's like, do you want to listen? Or do you my wife has a great quote. She's like, okay, do you want me to tell you what to do or do you want me to hear you?
Yeah.
Are you calling me to complain and be heard and have me try to acknowledge your problem? Or do you want me to tell you a solution that you're going to act on and it's going to actually change?
Right.
A lot of people aren't willing to take the information given, change because they have ego problems. So that's one thing, like how our relationship works. It's no ego. It's not like, oh man, like why you say that? I'm going to do the opposite. Or like, why are you attacking me? Yeah. Or like, oh man, you're taking my territory. It's like, that's a good way to look at things. I'm going to implement this because I see how it's working with you. So we're going to grow together because iron sharpens iron.
Correct. And although that me and Matt, I mean, we do have our disagreements, but we work through it. We're good. I think that's what makes us better though. And then sometimes, Matt may say something that I may disagree on, earlier in the week, and I may be laying in bed a couple nights later. Damn, he was right. It's just, sometimes it's at the moment in the vibe that you put out, sometimes the way you say things may come out differently to make you having a different opinion. But then when you really sit back and think about something, it's like, dang, he was he might be really on to something there, you know. And I think that's the problem with communication is a big key in this world. If you don't have communication, you don't know how to communicate, you're not going to be successful. I mean, communication makes the world go round. If you can't communicate, then, you know, business probably isn't for you. You probably need to go back to 9 to 5.
Exactly. It's like nothing personal, but if it becomes personal, then you're making it personal. It's like business is business. Like, have enough emotional intelligence and awareness in oneself to be able to take information as information and say, that's a good idea. Let me think about that. And that questioned me. I'm not going to challenge it. I'm going to try to adapt it.
And, you know, you definitely can't be soft in this world either, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I've always had thick skin, going back to the sales thing, but you had to have thick skin. If you didn't have thick skin, then, you know, you're not going to be successful.
Correct.
You know, so being soft you know, I've never really been soft, and sometimes it gets me in trouble. You know, even with my personal relationships, especially. I may come across the wrong way, and sometimes I have to come back and say, hey, I really didn't mean it that way. It's just the way it came out, you know? But yeah, it's definitely been a crazy ride. Like, just knowing our whole story, man, it just blows me away. And knowing how far, just off the stuff that we've talked about, helped each other out, and the surface cleaning thing, it's just a great story.
Yeah, it's again, it's kind of like a selfless act of kindness. And I'm like, all right, well, I get so many people, as you probably do, try to DM you, try to come in and be like, either they're like pretending to be a customer, and we call that secret shoppers, where they're like, oh, I need you to help me out on this, this, and this. And then, like you said the other day, you had somebody come at you about like, hey, send me your setup. So instead of like coming at somebody honestly saying, hey, I'm trying to start a business, I'm coming to you because like I want to be kind of where you are, they try to be shady about it and then like come at you lying. And it's like more taking as opposed to being like, hey, we're all in this together. Like, you want to be bros here, you want to be wash bros here, and then grow together. So it's like all about how you approach situations. And I was like, hey, I was like, hey, I'm a sales guy. I'm doing stuff, and I know there's always an ulterior motive behind things, but if you do it correctly, it's like, this is some friendly competition that can help each other grow. And like we say, entrepreneurship's a lonely game. So it's like, we're not in the same sales floor together, but we can still be competitive amongst our different companies. And then it's like, hey, how you doing today? It's like accountability.
Right. And you know, I don't really view Matt as competition. It's just like, I know that I'm going to take care of myself. You know, that's the alpha male, I guess you would say. You know, I've always been headstrong. I'm going to go get mine. You know, it's like when we first started my business, me and my wife, we were kind of on the edge about it, you know. But I mean, I really, I don't know how to say this. Like, I had like the little bit of fear. Like, that's not me. Anybody that knows me from sales, like, fear, that's you know, I'm gonna get it, you know. Like, I'm not worried. Like, COVID, all that stuff hit when I was in sales. I still hit all my numbers. I was strong as crap. I was gonna get it no matter whatever it took. I was gonna do it. If I had to go to people's doors and knock on their doors to say, hey, you're gonna buy this stuff, you know. But you know, we were worried about it, really. I mean, it was October. It was slow season.
Which, if you don't know, that's the worst time to start a pressure washing business.
The slow season, going into slow season, is when I started my business. And you know, we were a little worried about it. And I told my wife, I was like, look, when I go into work at the car dealership, I don't know if I'm going to make any money. It's kind of the same perspective. So if I'm consistent, I follow the sales process, and I do the things that I need to do consistently, it'll eventually come. And sure enough, spring of last year, it just popped, man. And you know, it's really, I'm just blessed, you know, that it all worked out the way that it did.
And again, like, putting out good seeds, it's not about, okay, doing this act in the moment is going to directly give me a result, but it's just like, hey, you're sowing seeds in the community, you're sowing seeds with your competitors, and then eventually they're going to harvest. And it's just like, cool, you didn't have to help me out there, or you don't have to help out other people, but you choose to do so. And by doing so, you get kind of like reward and more business. You get like kind of favor given to you.
Right. And don't get me wrong. I mean, it wasn't easy by any means. I mean, that's just the nature of business, but it's almost like business is like so addicting, and you get to a certain point and you're like, dang, I've made it. But then you're like, I want more, you know, and everybody has their different, what do you want to say, like criterias or levels or goals that they want to hit.
Exactly.
But you're always trying to figure out how to make yourself better, you know, and I don't, you know, I don't have like, I probably have half the equipment that most of these guys have, but at the end of the day, you know, it's really all about how you value your company, you sell yourself, you brand yourself. And do you do a good job? If there's an issue, do you take care of that issue? Do you go back and make sure that's taken care of? You know, a lot of guys will just, you know, with home services, they'll do the work, collect the money, and that's it. They don't care about you anymore, right?
Exactly.
So I'm very big, like, on selling myself with reviews. Like, that's you know, when I go out to eat or I'm looking at the store, I go out of town on vacation or something, I'm going to look at the reviews to see if this place is good, does it have good service? Because if, you know, if I'm spending my hard-earned money, obviously
you want to go to a good cause.
Yeah, like, that's what I want to look at, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, the reviews have been big for me. You know, I highly recommend getting, you know, with anybody that has a business, getting some kind of platform, something that sends out that direct link or something, you know, when you do that work for that customer, to get that 5-star review, because that is, I mean, that's freaking important to me. I mean, that's what I live by. Like, I would rather have a 5-star review almost than get paid. You know, I'd almost work for 5-star reviews.
That's actually a valid point, because like, I'm at that point now in my business where I don't really care about the money coming in, because it's like, okay, this is the assumed part.
Right.
Then it becomes like the customer service. Like, have I gone above and beyond today? So what makes me happy is when I get home at the end of the day, and if I've done 4 jobs or 3 jobs, I get like 2 or 3 5-stars. I'm like, that's a successful day. And I think now I'm around like 250 range. But it's like, I don't really care about chasing the money anymore. I care about chasing the 5 stars. That's not like an ego vanity metric or anything. It's more of like, hey, I did a good enough job and I impressed somebody today where they felt that they give me a review. Because I mean, like, most people are like, yeah, sure, bro, I'll give you a review. And yeah, it never happens.
Never do it.
Never does it. So like, it's like, can you make a difference in somebody's day every single day? And that's kind of like a reward system for me that pushes me forward.
Yeah, like I look forward to more of reading my reviews versus going and taking a shower. Like, a lot of people, when they get home, first thing they want to do is take a shower. Hell, I want to get on the couch and I want to read my reviews. You know? It's just a really good feeling to know that people actually, you know, you do a good job. It just makes you feel good. I guess.
It's like, are you seeking income or are you seeking impact?
Yeah,
and like, if you pursue impact, income will follow.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, it's all about, you got to build a reputable business. If you don't have a reputable business, you're probably not going to last too long. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah, especially in like the home service space, or like right now so when COVID hit, everybody kind of shifted from like corporate America to more like entrepreneurship, whether it was like all the government money was given out, people were able to like kind of front load their business expenses on all that. But it was like a massive push for people to jump into, especially pressure washing. So like, I've seen so many people jump into the game, and I've only been in it since like 2018. So I haven't been in this forever, but I've seen so many people come and go, super ambitious, super hungry. And they all kind of have the same story. Like, they hit it so hard and then they kind of fizzle out and then they disappear. And then I say, oh, congrats, you got a new job.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. It's definitely a grind, you know, and a lot of people, like, behind the scenes of business, like, they don't understand like the overhead that goes into it. They're like, you're charging me X amount of money, and you're like, they're like, you make more than a doctor. And I'm like, no, sir, no, ma'am. That is not how it works, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So,
like, my costs have gone up a little bit. In
the
last year.
Inflation has kind of killed us, right?
Yeah. And then like, where I'm in my business is more like focusing on like building out trucks, kind of scaling a little bit more. So it is like, okay, I can carry the torch, but in order for me to continue this growing at the pace that I kind of want to grow at, I'm going to have to like trust somebody and offload it to somebody. So like, I have multiple trucks, and then it becomes like, how do I screen employees? How do I know if they're good or they're just good at interviewing? And then I heard another quote that's like, if they're good at interviewing, it means they interview a lot, which means they're probably bad at their job.
Yeah,
so it's
that's
kind of
true.
like, oh, man, it's so many new things you jump into in business, where it's just like, if you don't have a good foundation in your business, whether it's like in the community, like your online presence, that if you're really taking a risk and jumping into that new thing of like, oh man, I'm passing the torch to employees, it can really ruin you. I know, like, I talk about it with you all the time, because we're both kind of in the same boat as far as like, hey, we like to have control of our business, and it's just like,
I'm definitely a control freak.
Yes, it's like me too, to an extent.
Yeah.
So to like, oh man, I'm gonna trust somebody, and I was like, I was an employee, I understand what the employee mindset is here.
Yep.
especially in today's world, it's kind of like, oh man,
Yeah, the 9 to 5. Yeah, just want to hurry up.
Chasing paychecks. But like in our business, it's like, hey, you have to have attention to detail. You have to care. You have to like be dependable. A lot of factors come into it. Like you said, our work, the true like cleaning is not difficult. Anybody can clean.
Yeah, everybody.
But it's like, does it meet the standards that our customers are expecting from us? And can they provide a similar experience that we could provide? So that's kind of the new challenge that I'm in right now.
Right. Yeah, I haven't. I'm a control freak, so
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure that part out. You know,
Yes.
I honestly, I think that a good way. I was actually on the phone with someone this morning talking about the growing thing, and we were talking about, you know, how would that work? How could you motivate your employees? Like, how can you make them want to work? And you know, going back to the sales thing once again, you know, sales is very, very important. And I think that you see that with a lot of successful business owners. Like, if you don't have some kind of background in sales, like, it's going to be very, very challenging, you know? So, but, anyways, going back to that, have like a sales motivating pay plan to your people to make them work as hard as you do and to grow in your business. So obviously with them growing, you know, you're going to grow, you're going to grow even better. And obviously they're going to make a little more money with the commission or the salary plus commission. They're going to want to get more work. They're going to want to work as hard to get the leads that, you know, that you are.
Exactly. Yeah. And too, like you said, sales, I think that's a huge thing too, because so many people, oh, I'm handy. I was told that I should start a pressure washing business because I know how to do handyman work. Oh, that's easy money. I see these guys out here doing it, but like they don't know anything. Like
Right.
I used to do all this stuff by myself. I know how to do everything. I went to private school, went to private college, went to corporate America.
Yep.
So I was like, all right, well, I don't have the background of somebody who you would see in the blue collar space, but I'm able to learn it because the business and the sales and the people skills is my background. And I think a lot of times what we see in our industry is so many people come from the blue collar space and they don't necessarily have any experience in the business, the sales, the human interaction, which is where all of it is.
Right.
And then like understanding motivators of people is huge. And that's kind of something I liked from our sales world. It's like when we were selling a car, some people were just price driven.
Yep.
Some people were like, well, I trust you, take care of me. And then some people were like, I want to feel a certain way. And like the place I am now with trying to figure out employees and like motivators, as you're saying, is, all right, does somebody want to feel like just because my face is on my truck, but like, do they want to feel like, hey, I'm the face of your business on the ground, and like I have a sense of ownership, and I am important? Or do people, like you said, are they money motivated, or are they just trying to get a job and then they want to go home? And like those people that just want a job and go home, I'm like, hey,
yeah,
it just doesn't align with my business. So
right. Yeah, they do the same thing every single day. You know, they have jobs, you know, like the manufacturers and stuff. That is not something I could do, by the way.
And that's why we both do what we do.
I love the chain of scenery. And going back to the blue, you know, you could kind of tell which guys in our industry what field they come from, because you could tell, like, for instance, like yesterday, I was in a neighborhood and I watched a house, and I come out and I looked to my right and I said, daggone, there's a yard sign, pressure washing, house washing, gutter cleaning. And I'm just like,
they just do it all, don't they?
Yeah, they do it all, but
they must be experts at everything.
But it's like, okay, there's a yard sign and it says house washing, pressure washing, or whatnot. And then I'm pulling out of this neighborhood. So I'm like, that's not working, man. You know, you have a lot of, you know, I think we've gotten kind of out of that age, and a lot of people are, you know, for our industry anyway, you know, I'll be honest, when I got into it, I tried the sign thing. It did not work.
Correct. Like I'm a huge like marketing branding person. So this is what fires me up. Pressure washing is just like whatever. It's the product I sell.
Right.
It's the easiest thing I could figure out to get out of my corporate America job that I didn't have to have a lot of money to start. So, I mean, I started with free equipment. So like we kind of were in the same boat of like, all right, we're going to scrap by on the equipment end and focus heavily on the social media and the marketing and getting ourselves out there, because that's both of our backgrounds. So like you're saying, like people buy $50,000 equipment expecting to make like $200,000 off of that,
right,
and have no idea how business works,
or how the equipment
or
works.
how the equipment works.
Yeah, I mean, I started from a $200 pressure washer from Northern Tool, and I went through 4 of them. So,
Yeah,
and then I was at a $800 machine, and then I made my way up to a $4,500 machine. So it's a big difference. It really is, you know. But they all do the same thing at the end of the day. There's nothing wrong with equipment. You know, equipment is the last thing you need to worry about. I mean, the washing is so easy. I mean, a lot of people just make it too difficult too. You know, with the mixing ratios and this, that, and other. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, you got to be careful, but it's definitely not a hard job. The hardest part, like we keep going back to, is running the business. If you don't, you know, if you got to know how to run a business. You know,
it's like people get in their own way. People get in their own heads. They try to be they coming from the sales world again. It's like, are you being busy today, or are you productive?
Correct.
It's like, are you spending 10 hours a day prospecting, or are you just kind of wasting time thinking you're busy? And that was like something that was always harped into me. It's just like, how much is my time worth right now? Like, whether you're dialing for dollars or you're emailing people or you're networking with people, it's just like everything you do, you should put a hour. How much am I making an hour on your value of time? Correct. And you're like, all right, if I want to make $1,500 a day, how do I break that down into an 8 or a 10 hour day?
Yep.
Like, you don't, if you force yourself into that kind of paradigm, you're not going to sit here and like think about what the mix ratio is to be most optimized. Correct. That's all. Like,
when you're busy, you don't have time to think about stuff like that, the little stuff, you know. And I can kind of tell the guys that are blowing me smoke, you know, it's just always like they're worrying about the small things. I'm like, look, dude, you're worrying about the small things, overthinking it. You're obviously not busy enough if you're thinking about this stuff. You need to figure out how to get some business and get yourself busy. Because when you're busy, you don't think about the small things. You don't think about stuff like that. You're just thinking about how to get more. You're hungry. You want to get more.
And then everything else kind of takes care of itself.
Yeah.
Like, we get stuck in analysis paralysis when we have too much time to think, because we're not busy enough. It's like, start becoming action focused and stop thinking.
Yeah.
It's like, get out of your own way.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and that was the biggest thing for me. Like, okay, when it's slow, you know, when, you know, I sold cars. So when it was slow at the car lot, I would just kind of just chill out and not, you know, I'd make a few phone calls. But now, like, I'm at home, right? I mean, you know, we're home business. So I'm at home and I'm like, man, nap sounds good. Go make me a peanut butter sandwich, eat a couple of fudge rounds, you know. But
self-control right there.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, I need to get productive. And that was the hardest thing for me, was running my own business and not, you know, like screwing off and, you know, staying productive no matter what. Okay, I got a slow day, but how am I going to win the day? You know, you want to be able to, you want to be successful enough. So, I mean, you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah, it's like, if I'm slow today, what did I not do 90 days ago that is getting me in today's situation?
Right.
It's like, it isn't, oh, it's slow today, the economy's bad. It's like, okay, I did not do something I should have done in the past because right now I'm slow.
Yeah, instead of blaming it on everybody else, I'm finding a way to make myself productive and be successful. I mean,
it's like, I mean, we both work out of our homes essentially, because we're like service-based businesses. So it's like, all right, how can I make myself get out into an office, aka get on the road every single day from like a normal work week? I'm not going to say, oh, I work 3 days a week and this is like awesome because I have 2 days off. It's like, how can I fill my schedule? So it's like, in the beginning especially, it's like, I want to leave, like when my wife leaves, and I want to come home when my wife comes home. I don't want to be like, oh, I'm home all day long, this is great.
Right.
Like, you have to treat it just as a full-time job, and you have to sell yourself enough jobs to get out of the house.
Yes.
And then create momentum, like we always talk about. It's like, hey, action breeds more action. It's like,
activity breeds activity.
That's the word. It's too early for that.
But yeah, I mean, it was like what, August, September last year. We had a little slow. I think you were busy August, and I was slow August, and then I was busy September, and you were slow September. So anyway, what that slow period, you know, I'm like, damn, what am I doing wrong? Matt's busy as hell, and you know, he's got all these jobs, and I'm just like, what am I going to do? I'm in a slump. So, I mean, I went to the post office and bought a bunch of snaps and just wrote freaking letters to people just to be productive, you know? And you never know, they may read your letter and they're like, oh yeah, I was at my dad's on Sunday for dinner and noticed that his house was dirty. Let me give him a call, or maybe his birthday's coming up and I can buy it. That could be his birthday present.
Exactly.
You know? You never know.
Job I did yesterday. It was a daughter bought her mom, who was kind of a little elderly, couldn't take care of her house. I mean, she's like, hey, look, how about I take care of cleaning the house? I just arranged everything. It was perfect. Yep. And like, it's not complicated. So people make it complicated. They're too fixated on like all the technical, as opposed to like, how can we be people here helping other people? It's like, we have a product, that fixes a solution, which is a dirty house.
Yep.
There's a million people right now in Greenville that pressure wash.
Correct.
Like, how are we being personal and being top of mind to people and saying, oh yeah, you know what, I could get that cleaned.
Yep. I mean, I had a lady, I mean, I think a lot of people just make it too over difficult. I was at a house not long ago. They said that they had a quote, and a sales guy came out, and they were there for 2 hours trying to sell a job. And I'm like, what the crap?
See,
you know,
we both came from the car sales world, so like we know how that works.
Yeah.
And it's kind of 1980s.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, we make it pretty easy. I mean, I had a lady the other day tell me she thought I was a gimmick. She saw one of my ads, and she, you know, I got to her quickly, communication, and she's like, "Yeah, I thought you were a gimmick. You made it too easy."
Exactly.
Like, but she didn't tell me that until I was done with the job. Like, she just said, like, "You made it so easy." Like, I just didn't know, like, if you were for real or not.
Yeah, it's like our jobs are to make somebody's life easier, not hard.
Yeah.
We don't want to be the confrontational sales guy that tries to make like $500 more than we can on this job and close 10% just because we can't. Like, people get too fixated in how much can I make on one specific job, especially when they're not busy. Yeah. And I think that's the biggest thing I see in new people. They're like, oh man, I'm never going to do a job for less than that. That's like, I'm above that.
Yep.
And then they do one job a day, or they do 2 jobs a day. And I'm like, but you don't have the reputation. You don't have the work. What are you doing? Like, you're technically not, you don't have enough value, quote unquote, to be able to do this.
I mean, I went out, did some houses for free just to do it, just to get myself out there, get people taking pictures of my trailer, get
planting
people,
seeds.
just act like we say, activity breeds activity, you know, and let's be real here, people in this world today are lazy, man. So you want to make it as easy as you can for them, not difficult. They're not going to want to click on 10,000 things and fill out 10,000 forms just to get a quote.
And wait 2 weeks.
For a quote, and then their house is already washed.
Exactly.
You know,
it's
so
like none of us are truly that much different than the other one. We all are pretty much a commodity. It's where we step in is like, what is our personal relationship with people, and do they like us? And how soon can we do it? It's like, for me, usually like price isn't really that huge of an issue with people. It's like, hey, you jumped on it, you have good reviews, you took care of it.
Yeah.
It's like, strike while the iron's hot. Don't get hung up trying to like mislead somebody, because they're going to feel it. They're going to be like, oh man, this is like weird energy. I don't really want to do it. And I think you and I both kind of have the same model of like, hey, jump on something, get the job done, on to the next. It's like
the next.
Yep. People, especially business people, respect that like efficiency.
Yep. I mean, I think I've cleaned like 30-something houses this month, so
just
on to the next.
Yeah, Clay's talking about how like, oh yeah, there's sales cycles, and like he'll be busy, and then I'm slow, and then like you came out in January like a freaking rocket.
I'm January was huge. I did $0 last January, and we did very, very well. This year.
I'm like, man, you putting up like some spring numbers,
right? Yeah, we were close. Like, we were close to spring. It was spring number. It felt like spring, but it was spring in January, but it wasn't like crazy.
Just wait till you get to spring.
Spring is where it's at.
They'll be like, oh, there's no more podcasts. I'm too busy.
And then, we're definitely going to keep this going up, but and I think a lot of people, like, as far as owner operators, like, I think some of them get into it for the wrong reasons and don't realize what they're getting themselves into.
Absolutely.
Like, I realized real quickly, like, you got to eat, sleep, and breathe this shit. If you're not doing it to be, you're going to have to eat, sleep, and breathe it, because if you don't, you're not going to be very successful.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
So, but I will say, like, it's definitely been life-changing for me and my family. Like, we've really come a long way. So
yeah, it's like you shift to creation. It's like, all right, well, I'm not just reactively getting business and like, oh man, I hate my boss, I need a raise. Like, oh man, inflation is so high, they only give me 3%. Instead of thinking and complaining about everything, go out there and make a difference. And then once you see how easy it is to truly make a difference, then it's like, oh, this is super motivating. Like, I'm taking the reins and controlling life now, as opposed to like being a victim.
Yeah, and I mean,
it like snowballs, and you're like, oh man, this is like too easy. Like we always talk about, it's like, man, this is like almost too easy. Like, when is this gig gonna wear up? It's like, like super,
yeah. With I think with our process and stuff, we make it super simple. I mean, it's almost like what do they call that book? It's like 10 dummy pressure washer 101 or something for dummies.
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder if they have that book.
I'm too dumb to read it though. I don't know.
But like, I mean, so going back to the owner operator thing, like sometimes like my buddies and my wife, like, why the crap are you on the phone? I'm like, I'm trying to get business. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. You need to eat, sleep, and breathe it.
Exactly. Because like if you say, oh no, I'm not gonna, it's the weekend, I'm not gonna check my phone. honestly, you're probably going to lose that job.
Somebody out there is hungrier than you are.
Absolutely.
I can assure you that. And and going back to my buddy, I was in Martinsville watching a daggum race, and I have a big passion for racing, and my phone goes off. I'm like, oh crap, my phone's got my undivided attention for at least 2 or 3 minutes. So hopefully I don't miss anything. But that's the value that I provide to my customer. Like, wow, thanks for the quick response, and people love that, man.
Oh yeah, and that's why your referrals are huge, and that's why like word of mouth is like a huge driver for you.
And it's not a generic message; it's a personal message directly from me. It's not a
virtual assistant,
a virtual AI, whatever crap that stuff's going on. I'm sure I'll end up using it one day. It's kind of like old people talking about text messages way back when they first come out.
They're not gonna last.
Dude, I remember I remember not long ago. When was it, about 15 years? Everybody started texting. Whenever I got my first cell phone, I remember running a daggone bill of like $600 off of text messaging. And my dad was pissed, and he's like, I don't understand why you text this, that, and the other, but that's how I talk to my dad now. We text.
Yeah, exactly.
And all your elders and stuff, they're just like, well, text message. Why don't you just pick up the phone and call them? But that's how they all communicate now. It's true. Guys took over the world.
It's true, exactly.
And that's how we 90% of dime sell jobs.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, and I like it from a frame of like it's essentially like a written document,
right?
Like, all right, oh yeah, call your customer. That's great if they have questions that are like beyond texting, but a lot of times it's like, hey, I don't want to show up to a job and then you're not there because you forgot.
Yep.
And then you're disagreeing with me on the price because you forgot that too. Everything's in writing. It's pretty much a contract.
Correct.
So it's like. And I mean, all day, if we're out in the field, we're running machines.
Yep.
We don't necessarily have time to stop, be quiet, have a conversation for 30 minutes.
No.
So
I have AirPods. They help, but it's it is what it is with those. But and I highly recommend, like, if you're a home, a home service, you offer a home service to people, I highly recommend getting a CRM.
Oh,
that was a freaking game changer to me. I was pen and paper all year last year.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, I think I changed like October or something, and it's been a daggum game changer.
That was one of those things. I was like, I started my business and I didn't really have anybody there that was helping me. So I was like, hey man, like I could save you probably a year.
Yeah. And he did. He really did.
Let's do, this is how I currently do it. And this is what I've learned.
Yeah.
And this is like, not only the money that I've like spent and didn't make, but all the opportunity that I lost. And like, I started off pen and paper. I was like, oh, just do Facebook Messenger. And then you're like, man, I had 150 customers with no email, no phone number, no first name, no address. And then you get to the point where like, I can retarget these people. I can send them flyers. I can stay on them. I can say, hey, Merry Christmas. Hope you're doing well. Like, keep me in mind. So when spring comes around, I'm your guy. So it's just like the value of having your customer list and to farm your current list. Everybody wants to hunt, but like there's so much value in farming. Like I was going through my list of like 1,500 previous clients. It's like I could farm that list and live off of that. But like everybody wants to just go out and hunt somebody new. But in our world, like you've taken a lot of customers that I've had in the past, and I'm like, oh man, I've seen that. I was like, I wonder why they didn't call. Oh yeah, C3 Wash Pros. Matt
sees a picture of a house that I watched. He's like, damn, that was my customer.
I was like, I wonder why they didn't call me this year.
Clay's already went and
dang
watched
hot shot in town.
Yeah. And a lot of people, going back to the farming the people, a lot of people, they just want to go out and get something new. They're not willing to.
I mean, you remember from the car business. It's like nobody wants to call customers.
You gotta what? You gotta build the crop. I'm not a hunter, so I don't know what you gotta build the crops so that the animals will come and you can get them, right?
I'm a city boy. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. So. I didn't really do. I was a fishing guy. So.
I mean, I brought my Vente Starbucks in here. So what do I know?
Yeah. I went to Waffle House this morning, so there's a difference there, but. But yeah, it's definitely. I think it's going to be a huge year. Definitely, with spring cleanings coming up, it's about to ramp up pretty good.
Easy.
But yeah,
it'll be cool. And I'm like, it's cool because I'm just a little bit more advanced than you. So you're kind of tracking like where I was a year or so ago.
Correct.
So I'm like, all right, well, these are the pain points that I'm currently going through. This is something to like be on the horizon of, like be aware of.
Yeah, like I'm already like 10 steps ahead. So when it comes to me, I'm like, dang, I already got this beat.
Yep.
It's so easy. Like,
or like, we push each other. Like you're saying, like you started out super like hot this year, and I'm like, man,
Yep.
what is he doing? I was like, man, I've been stuck in like the owner operator role so long that like I haven't been hitting marketing as hard because I've been so overloaded with work, and I'm starting to see like that trajectory I have. It's like I don't want to flatten out. I want to continue that upward trajectory. So that's a big motivator for why I'm like scaling and getting off the truck. Because I'm like, I'm tired of competing with this guy. He works harder than I do.
I do ask him
I'm
a
trying
lot.
to work smart.
Yeah, I'm already two jobs deep by the time Matt gets out of bed. So yeah,
right.
he you know, we all like to sleep late or get up early.
It takes beauty to sleep to get this.
Yeah. But yeah, I highly recommend, like, you know, if you're out there and you're struggling, I highly recommend asking for help. But just, you know, I have a lot of guys blow me up, so just I highly recommend not blowing, you know, just wasting someone's time. Like, be serious and sincere about it and say, hey, I'm going to fix my stuff. I'm going to get my shit together. And it's okay not to know everything. I mean, I didn't know everything. Yeah. Sometimes you have to put your ego aside and be like, hey, man, I need some freaking help. And somebody's going to help you. Somebody that's successful in business is not going to mind giving you advice because they're going to go get theirs. They already know they're going to get theirs. It's just not going to hurt them.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys with a big ego, they're just like, okay, well, you can buy my course, or, you know,
that's my next move.
Yeah. So, I mean, you already know, we've talked about it a little bit. I mean, our process, I'm an example of something that's worked with Matt's process. So,
yeah, I mean, but again, it's just like, understand who you are, and then like apply it to you, and then be personal with it. Like we both.
Yep.
You don't have your face on your shirt, but you essentially run it the same way.
Correct.
Like
yeah,
C3 Wash Bros isn't, oh, what's that mean? It's
right.
like, oh, it's clay.
Yeah. I mean,
so it's like you are your business.
I've seen it a lot. Like, I'll do something and then I'll see the guys that, you know, and I was about to say newer guys, but a lot of the guys have been in business longer than me, but I'll do something. And then, you know, some of the newer guys and then some of the guys that have been in business longer than me, they'll start to do the same thing.
It's called swagger jacking.
Yeah. So I'm just like, okay, like, I just try to, like I said earlier, it's, you can't do the same thing that other people are doing because it's not going to work for you most of the time.
Absolutely.
You got to put everything into your own spin. You know, if I wanted to be like Matt, I could have made I could have put my face on my stuff to brand myself, but I mean,
you did get bubbles.
It probably wouldn't have worked for me, you know? So
yeah. And I'm kind of the same way too. It's like, all right, I've kind of played out what I've been doing to the point where like people start kind of emulating it, which is flattery. Obviously it's like imitation is flattery. And then it's like, okay, how can I be visionary enough to kind of make my next move?
Yep.
It's like, how can I constantly stay ahead of where I am? Because like we were saying, if I'm slow today, what did I do 90 days ago that is causing me to be slow today? And especially like with marketing and getting in front of stuff, there's like a sales cycle to getting attention and to closing business. So it's like, all right, how can I position myself for the next year, for 2023, 2024? Like, how can I like be that jump that I was from 2020 to kind of get into the spotlight? And then I kind of was on cruise control a little bit, and then you kind of came in, took up the wave. It's like, how can I almost like reinvent myself again just to be fresh?
Yeah.
And it's like, people don't stay fresh. It's like, oh, it's the same old boringness. And it's like, people,
sometimes you got to change it up, man.
Yeah. It's like people don't necessarily care. Oh, you pressure wash my house. Cool. Like, what's your price? It's like, you're a nice guy, but like, so is the other 10 guys.
Yeah, it's kind of like I guess good example would be like landscaping. Everybody can buy a lawnmower and say that they're a landscaper,
absolutely,
right?
Yes. But pressure washing is becoming the new landscaping. So it's like, how do you compete in a commodity field? And you have to do it by like adding value. And people are like, oh, what's that mean? I'm a valuable. My mom says I'm valuable. I was like, yeah, but not everybody loves you like your mom does.
Or I don't have to advertise. I
word of mouth.
Yeah, I go off of word of mouth.
I mean, this is a prime example of what happens when you don't push as hard.
Correct.
I wasn't running ads last year. I wasn't advertising and pushing as hard just due to the fact that I was kind of flooded as an owner operator. I was like, oh, I'm good. I'm coasting. And then all of a sudden, that market share that I was leaning on and relying on kind of got swooped up because somebody who's hungry and new and is like the new sexy guy on the block come in and took the business.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I gotta have attention on my 6. Otherwise, I'm just going to stay flat year to year.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, you could have easily kicked me to the curb, but we're kind of working together now. I mean, it's just nuts how that works. You know, I think that if we had a lot more of this in the world, I think that if we all worked together, kind of like how me and you do, I think it would be a lot better.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, I came from sports, so it's like,
was it working as a team?
Yeah, it's like a team, and
a
like,
rival, but not really rival.
Yeah, I mean, like you get like iron sharpens iron here, and it's like, all right, I could be like butthurt every day. I wake up and see that you get a job and I don't. And that's just going to put me in a downward spiral and I'm going to go out of business. Versus like, oh man, you got this many jobs booked and these awesome mansions, and I'm doing like a cookie cutter house like for a grandma that's going to pay me like $70. Man,
there's nothing wrong with
what
that.
am I
I'll
doing?
take all of them.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Send the grandmas your way.
The mansions are cool though. I love the bigger houses. You know, something definitely. It's like goals. It makes you want to work harder too.
And cool thing about our world, and anybody who's in the home service space, like you get to meet people. So like that to me is like the win. It's like, hey, if I can like meet 5 cool people a day and have like a good 20-minute conversation with somebody and like almost pick their brain, it's like you get more successful because you talk to people and you can learn from these people, and they're like, oh yeah, I have a business too. Like this is what I would do. Especially
with you know, a lot of other business owners in different fields. Sometimes they can give you some advice that may put you on the next level. You never know who you're going to run into or whose hand you're going to shake, or, you know, it's kind of like the sales thing.
You don't know, like, okay, this may work in the food service industry, but I've never heard it in the pressure washing space. Right. But if you apply it in the pressure washing space, that's completely revolutionary in that space. And that's a great angle to look at things.
Correct.
It's like you're saying you did a video testimony the other day. Yep. And like I don't see many people who do those, and they do them like a lot. So that could be something, yes. That could be something that is like a future. Because I for me personally, I used to post like my Google reviews, and then that was great. But like you're taking a step up, making it more personable, putting your face on there, and a video interview. So like we live in a video world nowadays. If you just put a picture up, it doesn't carry the same weight. Like we're all post blind because we're on Facebook all day. It's like, what's the most trendy reel? What's the most cool TikTok thing? Like, so if you're able to like kind of stay in that like trend and then incorporate it with customers and be super like personal with it, that's going to be like the future of like, oh, I don't care about how many Google reviews. Like, look at all these like trustworthy people who have cool houses, way cooler than my house, that trust you, and you seem like a cool guy.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like where you take it and run with it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'll lose sleep daily just trying to figure out like, how can I be different than somebody, you know, like stay on the right path, but how can I be different? There's just so many people out there that are trying to be clones of other people. Like,
correct.
I want to be different. And I think that's what, a lot of my success has came from. You know, I'm not like the top notch, whatever you want to call it, pressure washer, but I've done very well doing that.
Yeah. I was tired of using your 4-gallon a minute machine. So I said, I have an 8-gallon a minute machine you can buy.
Right.
For a charitable donation.
Yeah. That was awesome.
I was like, come on,
that was a
man.
big step
You're
up.
too busy for using this $99
guy. Yeah, I was killing it, man. You know, I didn't have the nicest equipment, still don't. You know, I had, you know, any of you pressure washing guys that are watching, I had a 4-gallon a minute machine, and I was doing what, $20,000 a month in sales my first year.
Yeah, I was like, come on, man.
With a 4-gallon a minute machine, so doing 3 to 4 houses in a day.
Do you even 8-gallon a minute, bro?
Yeah, and so
it's all about the equipment.
Yeah, so Matt was like, "Hey, I think something's wrong with one of mine. What was it?
Yeah,
the spark plug popped out or something."
I was like, I'm city boy, city boy.
So it was kind of Matt giving back to me.
My mechanic's like, you know, you have to change your spark plugs every oil change. I was like, all right, I got 2,500 hours on this thing, or 1,000 hours on this thing. Sure.
Yeah. So going back to, hey, you know, if you do good things to others or you help people out, like it is always going to come back. Karma's always going to come back, whether it's good or bad. And so like me loaning Matt a $200 surface cleaner, a piece of equipment. Matt offered me a great deal on an 8-gallon a minute, and it has totally changed my business. Like it was like a kid in a candy store when I got that
like
thing.
You're moving up in the world.
It was like it was equivalent to like me or you going out and buying like a brand new Corvette or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like
it's like driving my F-150 versus a Chevy.
Yeah, or getting in that 4-cylinder Mustang versus the V8 Mustang.
Yeah. Well, my truck's the 4-cylinder.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, so it's a lot different.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but definitely as far as our relationship goes, I can't say that I have the same relationship with anybody. They never have in business, you know. Like as far as business goes, it's always been a, hey, how you doing? But
I'm trying to take from you.
Yeah, F you, like you're doing good. You know, I want to, you know, or somebody will call and try to get advice, and they're just really just trying to use you, and you can feel it. And you know those phone calls you get, and you're like, this guy's just trying to figure out what the crap I'm doing, and they're just trying to. I call them moochers, like they just like to mooch or a bum. You know, they'd rather take the easy way out versus the harder way, and at the end of the day, it's only going to bite them in the ass. Yeah,
it's like, hey, look, if you take like, okay, cool, we have a cooler friendship, but you actually take the advice and apply it.
Yeah.
So like you're motivating me to continue forward because you're continuing forward.
Yeah.
Like you have to have that like symbiotic relationship. Otherwise it's not going to work. If like I tell somebody to do something, they don't do it, I'm not going to talk to them again because they're wasting my energy.
Like we're reassuring each other that what we are saying that we do works.
Yeah, proof of concept.
Because so you're seeing that, hey, okay, it really does work. And it just pushes you harder.
And then it's like, oh man, if you put up these numbers this week, I got to step it up too. Versus like, oh man, I'm good. I'm set in my ways. I'm good. It's like you always have to challenge each other. Otherwise, you're not going to grow.
Yeah, you're never going to get any better if you're just like, I'm stuck in my ways. I'm not going to change. I'm just going to sit here. I'm not,
I'm living in the past. I'm living in my glory.
You want to make it easier for yourself. Like I had a phone call yesterday from another fellow pressure washer. Love him to death. But he's like, yeah, man, I'm out selling jobs. And I'm like, oh, well.
But is you closing jobs?
Yeah, you closing jobs.
I was like, don't tell me what you're selling. Tell me what you're closing.
Yeah, out here selling jobs. Well,
sounds like you're
cool,
making money.
Cool, man. Well, I'm out here washing houses, making some money. So, as an owner operator, I would say 75% of us, or 80, maybe even higher number, are operators. Right?
I'd say majority. A majority of people are, just due to the fact that like it's a whole different beast when you're running the business per se with.
In my eyes, if you're an owner operator and you're out having to sell, you're really not making any money. You need to do. I think that. How do we do it?
I like to work smarter, not harder, and it's like I have a limited amount of time in the day, and say I want to hit $1,500 a day in my business.
Yeah.
I do. All right. Well, my production is going to be during the working day. And then between the working day, I'm going to be doing my scheduling for the next day and the next day and the next day. And then I'm lining up my week while I'm essentially working. And then I come home and I probably have to do some of that stuff too.
Right. You're still working.
Yeah, you're working all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Whether you like it or not.
But people get into it for the wrong reasons. And if they're like trying to do it to take, there's a ton of giving in business. You only see the rewards. Like you're only seeing the highlight reel on social media. You're not seeing everything that's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah. Anyway, I was telling a very successful guy in our area not long ago. I was like, you just can't believe everything you read on the internet. Sometimes you have to reassure people, like, just be careful. Like, and coming from the sales background that I come from, I've always had that wall up. Like, just try not to be sold. A lot of people just get sold on stuff, and it's just
sell or be sold.
Yeah, sell or be sold. And anyway, going back to that conversation I had with a guy on the phone that was out selling, I'm like, dude, if you're out selling, you're not making any money. I mean, I guess you are making money if you're closing jobs. Like if you're closing jobs, you're making money. But I'm working 5 days a week. I'm not having to get out there to sell people. And I told him, I said, man, my customers come to me. I don't have to go to them.
Again, I also think this is like the new age pressure washing. I mean, yeah, if I have a sales team of people, and they're making a commission and they're landing me huge tickets because I have this awesome volume coming in, that's a different story. But like
as an owner operator,
the stage that we're in, you're 1 year into business, you got to try to maximize your productivity.
Right.
And you got to figure out systems that you can do so and max out your day. It's like, all right, well, if I'm doing everything myself, I can't be just wasting time during the day pretending like I'm making a lot of money when in reality I'm not. It's like, don't tell me what you're selling. Like, show me your deposits.
Yeah. Yeah. At the end of the day, if you're not, if the money's not going into the bank account,
There's
really
something
doesn't
wrong.
matter.
Like your ego will tell you one thing, but like, make sure you're keeping track of your books. Make sure you're looking at your sales. And like, we both come from sales background, so it's just like, don't tell me, show me.
Yeah, don't tell me, show me. What I said something this morning. I was like, don't talk the talk, walk the walk.
Yeah.
And the guys in my group love that crap. They're like, dang, it's Happy Friday. You're on it today.
Yeah. I was listening to a podcast. The guy was like, don't tell me. Like, he's like, my grandfather would get mad at me if I kept talking about something. He says, stop talking about it and show me. Yep. It's like, if you're going to keep talking about it, I'm not going to listen. It's like start showing me and then don't talk about it.
Yeah, or don't be the dog on the porch that just barks, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
We run into a lot of dogs, too.
Yeah. I mean, again, we're in a field that's low cost of entry. It's super easy. Everybody's an entrepreneur.
Yep.
And then it just, they don't have the discipline or the care to go all in. And again, if you're motivated because you want to be seen as an entrepreneur, if you want to be seen as this, you're going to fail in business.
Correct.
You're going to burn out. I've seen so many people, they start so strong and like their Facebook presence or their online presence is insane. I'm like, man, this guy's just like killing it. And then they disappear. And I'm like, well, what happened to him? Oh, he had an anxiety attack or depression. I was like, oh, that's sad. But like, why is he living kind of like an incongruent life with what he's doing? And like, people are going at it the wrong reason. And to me, it's like, all right, well, I choose this because I feel like this is like, I'm on flow, I'm on purpose. And then it becomes easy. Too many people are in it for the wrong reasons. And they don't just kind of like lean into like doing the right thing and then getting that like reciprocity from the universe, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
It's like they're trying to shortcut life. If you try to shortcut life, you're gonna have a hard life. It's like if you choose an easy life, it's gonna be hard. But if you choose a hard life, it's gonna be easy.
Yeah, perfect point there.
Yeah, I read too many books.
Yeah, I'm fortunately not a reader. I'm just a hang out and learn from myself, and just a hang out at the racetrack type guy. That's kind of what
but you apply yourself, and then you're resourceful. So it's like if you're resourceful enough to figure it out, it's like, hey, set your mind to something, do it, and then like figure it out. And that's kind of how I operate too. It's like, all right, I have the information, but like unless it's like applied, it doesn't mean anything. Yeah. It's like go out, jump out of the plane, then figure out the parachute on the way down.
Yeah, figure out how to pull the chute.
Yeah, it's like, all right, well, I've committed. Like, who do I need to connect with? And that's how like we have a good relationship. And then like you build that network around you, and you're like, all right, cool. I know who to like reach out to make it happen.
Yeah, and then, and then the networking thing is cool. And a lot of people swear upon networking, but I'm a prime example. I have never been to an actual formal, never joined a networking group, never paid money for a networking group, but
you actually network.
But I actually network.
Yeah, because you're adding value to other people in the community.
Yeah,
and that's why every time I try to search pressure washing, your name pops up.
Yeah, it's like I said, if anybody is trying to, I'm not taking away from anything as far as going to a networking. I think it's good. I think what they do in there is good. But I'm a prime example of one of those that didn't pay the money for a networking group. If that and seeing.
I mean, back to the whole energy putting out, like if you're leading with value in everything you do, and you're making impacts in people's lives, and you're staying active and busy and staying in front of people, eventually you've created enough positive attention where you don't necessarily have to network.
Correct.
And like if you've been to a networking event, it's like so fake and so awkward, and everybody's there to take. So like we like to flip that mindset and say, all right, well, how am I a good person? I can help people by like making their day better, cleaning their house, and then like being a positive light to somebody. And then I get word of mouth. And then people naturally gravitate towards me. All those like moochers that you would see at a network event that would pay to try to mooch all come on you like vultures.
Yeah. And then
that's why I'm like, just turn off your phone.
Well, my thing is like if you're a successful business owner, you're not gonna have time, or if you're doing good, like you're not gonna have time to go to these things, right? I wouldn't say like networking is probably for like, I would say like newer businesses, not for your successful.
Yeah, you're established.
Yeah, you're established. Because I get all the invites and stuff, and it's just like, man, I can't commit to that. I can't go to that. Like, how do these guys that been in business for 2 or 3 years, or how are they able to go to these things? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm too busy. Like, I got it. Even in the slow season, like I still wasn't able to go.
Yeah,
like, I'm not understanding how people go to this stuff.
We're both
week.
kind of busy and no nonsense, and we have boundaries. It's like, all right, I'm so loaded during the day, probably more than I should be as far as like my business versus my personal life.
Right.
And then I don't want to talk to anybody after that. I was like, all right, well, I have enough friends. Like, is this moving the ball forward with me making money, or is this like somebody leeching off of me?
Yeah.
And you and I both like to like have, like we do networking via social media. So it's like, all right, well, how can we leverage our time better? It's like people can follow us on social media, and then I can have 100 people or 1,000 people networking me at a time, and they follow me on social.
Yeah, and I don't think a lot of people realize like there's just other ways. Like you don't like going back to getting sold on things, like the stuff, believing stuff you read on the internet. Some of that stuff works, That's something, if somebody's selling you on something, that's something that works for them. That's something that worked for them. That's not something that worked for everybody.
But you can learn from that.
Yeah.
But you also don't need to pay for that course. You can learn from somebody, say a customer is successful, and say, hey, I have a good relationship here, and then he said this, and it really changed my thought process, and I applied it. And that's the big key word, apply.
Right.
It's like everybody knows how to do everything, but they're too afraid to get their feet wet.
Yeah.
Or like you said, take a risk. Like you jump into business in the worst possible time to jump into business. Like the rational mind would say, oh no, don't do that.
Yeah.
And then you keep saying that, and then you never get into your business, and then you never have to face kind of that adversity that propels you to like hustle and grind, like you said in the car business, where you're like, hey, it's a commission-based job. If you eat what you kill.
Right.
So it's like, man, if like the perceived safety net of a job, I still have to eat what I kill. Why can't I do this in my business? And then you get to the point in your business where you're like, I have a reputation now. I eat what I kill, but it comes to me. It's like I have people coming to me, feeding me now. Like I've built this like community around me that is sustainable, as opposed to like these people who are stuck in their jobs, like thinking that that's the better route and they're safer. And you're like, oh man, I like was able to walk out of the cave and saw like those shadows aren't that scary. Like,
right.
It's one of those, it's like the biggest thing, like we're talking about, it's like get out there and then figure it out.
And I think, you know, for a lot of the newer entrepreneurs, like I don't know if you felt it, Matt, like when you first got into business, but I feel like a lot of the guys like that are not even successful, like now that I'm looking back on it, like a lot of the guys are like just trying to be negative, like you need to do this and you need to do that. And I don't know, like it's really, you know, just saying, oh, well, we're saturated. I mean, which it is a saturated industry, but they're just trying to, it's almost like they're trying to talk you out of owning or doing, you know,
Absolutely.
owning a pressure washing business, I guess, because they're just scared.
They're looking at it as like a scarcity mindset,
Yeah.
as opposed to like, hey, I'm here to create, and is a thing called market shift. And like I came from tech sales, and okay,
Right.
there's a limited amount of pie out there, and there's hundreds and thousands of companies competing for that pie. What are you doing differently this quarter, this month, this day to get that piece of pie?
Yep.
And that's like the sales mindset. It's like, all right, look, the world is not fair, so I'm going to go out and get mine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, if everybody was the same, like it's not gonna,
Yeah.
it's just gonna be boring. Like nobody's gonna, you got to
It's
pop.
called-
I
it's
mean, we've
called
been saying this the
socialism.
whole podcast. Like you got to pop. Like if you
Yeah.
want to be noticed, you got to pop. I mean, I don't know what it, you know.
You got to put yourself out there and be different.
Right, you got to have some kind of crazy slogan, some kind of crazy design, some
Yeah.
kind of crazy car, some kind of crazy something. Have Elvis on there,
And
you
hustle.
know. Yeah, Elvis pressure watching.
Yeah. Put yourself out there, but more importantly, like be a good human being and hustle.
I mean, man, I might start another pressure washing business. Elvis pressure washer, dress up like Elvis. I'm gonna trademark that so nobody takes that from me.
Go out to Vegas and you could probably marry people out there too.
Oh yeah, that would be great. Marry them out there at the
Marry you and clean your
Vegas
car.
clean a car too, yeah, and a Ferrari.
Might want to clean something else if they're in Vegas.
Oh gosh, it's awful.
Some SH.
Yeah, some SH. Yeah, I don't even think you can use SH out there.
Probably not.
SH is bleach, by the way.
Yeah,
It's what we clean with. Same thing. It's just
Excuse,
good
it's not
ingredient.
bleach. It's our top secret proprietary ingredient for
Yeah.
cleaning your home professionally.
Yes, sodium hypochlorite is what
Yes,
it's called.
yeah.
Look it up. It's good
Better
cleaning.
better than everybody else.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps everything up.
Yeah, I mean it's good with me. I like cool concept. We always talk day to day, so it's like, hey, we could like your network on social media, my network on social media. Like I'm kind of shifting from like, all right, the challenge. We like to go after challenges and like what pushes us. So like, all right, this gets us out of our comfort zone. We like everybody kind of knows who we are individually.
Correct.
So to like collaborate here will be super cool, and we can like merge our networks together and then like create something really cool in the pressure washing space or even like the local space.
Yeah, maybe create some merch or something if we get enough people interested, you know.
Right,
you never know.
right.
But yeah, definitely something that we can get in here. We can clear our minds, talk with each other, even though we already do daily. But and then maybe give some advice to some other local pressure washers, or you know, pressure washers across the country, or even if you're not a pressure washer, you know,
small business, like
small
same
business.
principles.
If you need some motivation, I mean, we're gonna bring it, man.
Yeah.
We got some good things in the works. I think this is going to be a good for a lot of people in the area, actually.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, like you and me, we both do jobs where you put in the AirPods and you're like, man, what's 45 minutes? What's an hour? What am I going to do like a little bit during this job? It's like, hey, plug in, listen to the podcast.
Yeah, definitely. But it's been good. Been a good episode 1, Matt. Glad we can make this happen, and look forward to episode 2.
Yeah, man. Got to change my shirt here. Been sweating through it.